Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to Fresh Learning Academy. And today we have someone special. I am telling him someone special because he's from the tech industry. And definitely, after watching this video, you'll be getting a lot of information about the tech industry. So, hi, Harshit. Welcome on the platform of Fresh Learning Academy.
Hey Pratibha, thanks for having me here.
Great. Harshit, to start with, I have a lot of audience who are from technical background, and they would definitely need or seek advice from someone like you who is working in tech industry from past few years. Can you give me a
Sure.
brief glimpse about how industry looks like? Like, what is the current situation of the tech industry right now, from the point of view where students are trying hard to apply for the tech companies?
So mostly industry works like I'm talking about India for now. So mostly it works on mostly there are certain startups, there are
Mhm.
certain MNCs, as we all know the big names, and there is a startup culture as well growing in India. So mostly a person who is capable of cracking those interviews, like what they actually want, if they are technically sound and they are technically well, and plus their communication are fine, means they are able to communicate what are their thoughts are, then there are tremendous opportunities. I mean, it looks like market is little bit off and then layoff is happening, but there is always a vacancy for a talent. So that's the market right now.
Okay, great. Can you tell me that what are the tech career path which a fresher can think about, like a student from CS background, or maybe let us include EC, AI as well, and mechanical student are also in competition right now.
Mm,
They
mm,
do apply for tech jobs. So, what
mm.
is your opinion about the same?
So mostly first thing they should have the interest. Like if you are just taking this particular field out just for the sake of money, that you will get certain amount of money and that's all, then I won't recommend the field, because initially at the start of year you will get some salary, you will land a job, but you won't be able to make a career out of it. If you really actually wanted to make a career out of it, firstly you
Mm-hmm.
should have a interest in the tech field. Secondly, you should have your basic knowledge, and your basic knowledge should be there. I mean, how things works, a very basic thing. This actually career demands a lot of patience and learning, day-to-day learning.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are mostly like 6, 7 years in the industry or even 10 years of industry, you should actually learn and upgrade yourself daily. That's the requirement. So if you are someone who is not able to learn those new skills, and because tech industry changes every day, right?
Mm-hmm. Very
So
true.
enhancing yourself, skill up yourself is very much necessary. If you know these things I can do, I have a passion, I can work literally hard and put myself, like put hours into this field, then there are tremendous opportunities. So you actually start with a basic concepts of object oriented. Like if you are totally out of CS, like from mechanical or civil,
Mm-hmm.
then you can start from object oriented concept. Maybe just pick one of the language. It could be a Java, it could be C++, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just start from that, learn basics, learn to create some basic programs, and then study about computer science subjects as well. That is a very basic start. Then there is a complete roadmap that going on that will actually land you a job.
Okay. Harshit, you are currently working with Microsoft, right? And you are very much aware that how much fascinated youth is to work with tech giant like Microsoft. So, can you recommend some of the strategies for someone who is looking forward to be a part of these tech giants?
Mostly strategies actually a little bit different if you are going for a front end, or if you are going for a back end, or if you are going for a full stack.
Mm-hmm.
I myself worked on back end most of the time throughout my career, although I've been in front end as well.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly I can tell you the strategy of a back end, how to approach. Even that works on full stack as well. So in all the tech giants, whatever the big names are there,
Mm-hmm.
usually they don't focus on a single programming language that you must know Java, you must know C++. That's not the case. Whatever the language you know, maybe it could be anything. Your basic should be very much clear. That's the first and
Mm-hmm.
foremost thing. Apart from that, data structure people gonna ask you, because if you are entry level, like below 5 years of career, so mostly people will focus on the data structure part.
Mhm.
That's the norm as of now, and lead code and all you must aware of, right? So those one of the pattern. Above 5 years, 6 years, maybe data structure is not that much to be focused on, because people are more keen to system design part at that much of the experience. But if you are below 5 years,
Mhm.
then you should focus on the data structure part. I would rather say like practice 2 3 questions daily for like 3 4 months, and that will already step you ahead from all the crowd that is with you, competing with you. Apart from that, system design is what people gonna start even for a fresher and for a 1 or 2 years of experience. So gone are the days when system design were actually for the senior engineer.
Mhm.
So now if you are at like a 1 or 2 years of experience, they will ask you a low level design. Maybe it could be a round of a machine coding where people which is throw you a scenario and you need to create it. High level design maybe like comes after 2 3 years of experience. So high level you can skip if you are like below 3 years of experience. High
Mhm.
level mostly is based on design certain system, based on certain scenarios, the services you have designed, all those things, right? So
Mhm.
that's a very high level. Like if I give you example, design Instagram. So if you someone tell you design Instagram, then you should know where the data is coming, what type of databases we are using,
Mhm.
which type of services we are using. Another thing is you should be aware of the basic computer science subjects. Basic
Mhm.
computer science subjects means operating system, computer network, database systems, right? Those are the very basic things that you should be aware of to be a
Mhm.
better engineer. And then now it comes to the different tools, like Git is there, which is mostly famous. So you should know how GitHub works. You should know how Maven works. You should know some IDE, right? You should have some open source contributions. So open source contribution is quite helping a lot in today's date, because data structure everyone knows. If you
Mhm.
put some open source contribution in your resume, it will make surely stand out. So those are particular 4 5 areas that you must focus on. Uh, if you are a fresher, then you take some time and work on this. If you are already experienced working somewhere, take around 5 6 months to focus on these area,
Mhm.
and then I think you will be able to crack those things.
Great. Harshit, you just talked about the GitHub. So, how important is a strong GitHub profile or portfolio presence when applying for these tech giants?
So it's actually the menu to your cafe, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are owning a cafe and you want to serve your customers, then how your menu look like, right? So your
Oh, yes.
resume, your
That's a great
LinkedIn
example.
profile, yeah. So your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and your GitHub, these three
Mm-hmm.
are your menus. So customers will get affected by seeing your menu. They are not coming and testing your dish, right, directly.
Mm-hmm.
So LinkedIn profile is what I will come to LinkedIn later, but
Mm-hmm.
for GitHub is what actually everyone has written certain projects on resume, right? I have
Mm-hmm.
created this. Maybe if a team has created, the person is having some little part, but he has mentioned or she has mentioned that I have created it.
Mm-hmm.
But how an interviewer can actually know your knowledge, or whether you have created it, or whether you have that particular field knowledge on the project or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's where your GitHub profile actually make you stand out from the crowd. So if you have good projects in the working condition, I won't recommend this a project in the middle where you put it on the GitHub and you put the URL in the resume, because that will make a bad impression.
Mm-hmm.
So you should have a project end-to-end working. You should know the end-to-end of the project,
Mm-hmm.
and then you should put it on the GitHub and mention your GitHub link on your resume, maybe on the heading or the project section, even on your LinkedIn
Mm-hmm.
profile. So if some recruiter or maybe some engineering manager is just checking your resume, they will
Mm-hmm.
just take like 10 20 seconds to figure out whether we should take the interview or not.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a GitHub link and there are certain projects in the working condition, it will definitely like I think 5x or 6x chances that you will get the internet interview opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Harshit, as you talked about where to place all these portfolios or links in the resume, I get a lot of questions every day on my LinkedIn and face to face as well, where students have a lot of chaos because of all the information available in the market, that what exactly a great resume looks like if you are applying for any kind of tech companies. So if you go down when you were a fresher, when you started applying for the job, how your resume looked like, if you can highlight few of the major points which should be there on resume so that there's a fair chance of getting it shortlisted.
Majorly, as simple as that you can create. I mean, people go on very fancy templates from the internet,
They
maybe
do.
some photos of there and
Mm-hmm.
certain color mixture and two part and all.
Mm-hmm.
What I recommend is very neat and clear resume. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is readable. I mean, the font should be simple font, no fancy font.
Mm-hmm.
That should be readable. If you are below 5 years of experience, generally it should be a single page because you
Mm-hmm.
haven't achieved that much of the things that you just go on the second page and the people
Exactly.
will actually go to second page.
Mm-hmm.
For a five or a senior engineer, it's obvious they will put a second two-page resume. So I would recommend make it a single page. Font should be clear. Then your first section should be your, I mean, the contexts are fine. Like you put up your email, you put up your
Mm-hmm.
GitHub profile link, you put up your LinkedIn link. These
Mm-hmm.
links are important. Like your
Yes.
GitHub profile link and your LinkedIn should be there on the
Mm-hmm.
resume.
Mm-hmm.
The first section should be your contribution, whatever you have made in your current organization. If you
Okay.
are already working, if you are
Mm-hmm.
fresher, then I will come to that in the later part.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you are experienced, then what contribution you made in a current organization by using what type of skills, what
Mm-hmm.
type of projects you have created,
Mm-hmm.
and if you can actually replicate that, how you actually help the business to generate more revenue by your
Mm-hmm.
contribution. See, anyone can write like, I created this feature. I wrote this, I used this particular programming language. I worked on Java.
Mm-hmm.
But how your contribution, how your feature made the contribution to the end product that actually helped the company to build more revenue. If
Exactly.
this particular thing you can highlight in your resume, it will stand out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people will see you like this person actually understand the business as well, like where this project, particular this thing will land, and how you actually maybe you scaled out certain system that was serving 100 users per
Mm-hmm.
second to millions user per second, right? So those things should be stand out. So the actually the description of your experience should be in that manner, that how you enhance the feature, how you enhance the product.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your prior work or whatever the work you are doing. Apart from that, your personal project should come after the this section. Personal project should be whatever you have done, some open source contribution, the projects you have created, that's on the GitHub. That's on the second part. Then comes your skills. What are the skills you should have? Now, in the skill section, it shouldn't be like a lot will help. Like it's quality or quantity.
Mm-hmm.
If you are writing just single programming language, you should know A to Z of that. You
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't write 10 programming languages if you are unaware of the basics of all of the time. Just write what you know from A to Z, write those skills, and then your education section. That's the only thing. I mean, that hobbies and all are gone, all the days when people put their hobbies and we like to do this, we like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So just this four section will help you out. A simple and neat.
Okay. How important is the declaration part which goes in the resume, wherein some people use word as a references available on request? Like, I would like to know a bit about this section.
The declaration about what?
Like the sentence which goes on in resume, like I hereby declare that above mentioned all the information is true.
No, I
How?
mean no mention. So
No,
this
it does.
actually it's like a 5-10 years back when people
Mm-hmm.
used to write copy paste actually write those there.
Okay.
It's
Mm-hmm.
not important. Just 2-3 lines of objective you can write at the start of like below your name, and
Mm-hmm.
you actually don't need to put photo as well. Below your
Mm-hmm.
name, just 2-3 lines of objective. What actually you're doing? What is your profile? Maybe a software engineer, maybe a tester, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how you actually wanted to contribute to the organization. Just 2 lines of objective is fine enough. No declaration, no signature, no date, nothing.
Great. That's it's a great input because it would have solved
Yeah.
many questions related to resume.
Yeah.
Harshit, coming back to the pointers which you described right now, like should a computer science or a tech student go for all kind of coding competition, which is these days taken care by many of the companies? One or the other day, Amazon is doing some kind of competition or coding competition is going on. Like how valuable these coding competitions are, and can you suggest few of the coding competition like where tech student can participate and really gain knowledge about the subject?
See, every bigger organization has this coding competition. So,
Mm-hmm,
see how a big MNC and a bigger organization works. They have lot of vacancies for freshers, first of all.
mm-hmm.
Second, they prefer innovation or to the latest talent. I mean, the fresh mind will come to the organization. They will see things from a different perspective. Maybe they can
Yes.
suggest some great. So they actually prefer those things.
Mm-hmm,
That's why they. And second point is they'll get a hell lot of application. I mean, for a single job, 1,000, 2,000. So these three or four criteria is there. That's why they arrange such competitions. I think
competition.
coding competitions.
Mm-hmm,
First, like they will get a fresh talent. Second, like the crowd will go away who were not actually able to crack those interviews.
mm-hmm,
So there will be the filtered out candidate will only appear right at the final interview. So that's their criteria.
mm-hmm,
So if you are into the competitive world of coding, you are actually from your first year of the college to the third year, you are doing those questions, you are cracking those questions. Is good. You should attend those platforms. You should go for those exams, maybe for those challenges.
mm-hmm,
If it is happening, it's fine. If you are directly getting a call, you got an interview call, you land a job, that's great, right?
mm-hmm,
If it is not, then it's not the end of the world. If you are not able to crack those interviews, or maybe you are not able to do those competitive coding, it's fine. You should more focus on the software development skills. So people just talk about competitive coding. That is important. I'm not denying that. Similarly, you should focus on the software development skills, right? That is two different things.
mm-hmm,
Coding a particular feature is a different thing, and landing this particular feature to a system that actually working and serving the customer, it's a different thing, right? So you should focus on your software engineer thing, development thing. I mean, what are the design patterns, right? You can write a class, two, three class, and create a Zomato out of it. But tomorrow, if Zomato owner tells you that we are starting booking my show as well, right?
mm-hmm,
That's how they are doing it. So how flexible your code to accommodate this new particular feature into this right, so that your food delivering app is now doing the book my show as well, and you did a minimal code change. So that is actually a design pattern. So what good design pattern you should use while designing a feature, right? That
mm-hmm.
comes in a low level design interview. So you focus on this part as well. How basic programming language works, how garbage collection works. You open a memory allocation, how it will get destroyed, right? How it
Mm-hmm.
actually creating a memory inside your system, right? So those things also you can focus on. If you're not good at competitive programming, focus on software development. If you're able to crack those exams, good. If not, then there are other ways as well. You can land a job in a startup as well. So for my career, I actually worked in two, three startup
Mm-hmm.
during initial years, 2, 3 years, and that helped me a lot. I mean, working in a startup will push you in a front line of the war, like the opposition is just throwing their arrows in front of
Mm-hmm.
you, and you are at the front line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that particular scenario won't happen in MNC. In 2, 3 years, they actually won't give you maybe they won't give you a good project as well. That could be a scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So you can work in a startup as well. You will get to know the clients, you will get to know the business, you will get to know the product, what language will save us here, what type of database will save us here, and then you can apply for those MNC. So
I'm
both
so
way is
glad. Sorry to interrupt,
yeah.
Harshit, but I'm so glad that you shared this word startup